Folks, we all got in here. Give yourselves a shout out when you get in here. Folks, we all got in here. Oh, we got for one. Who's my friend that came to visit? Hello, hello, hello. Is anybody out there? John Lobley. Hey, how you doing, bud? Yeah, as you can see by the title of the video or the title of the live stream, I'm considering switching gears on my channel focus. Um, the you know, being an original material stand-up comedian on YouTube is such an extremely small niche. Um, it's just it's really hard to get to the point where you're monetized because the videos only get watched once, and then people just say, "Oh yeah, I watch that. I don't need to see it again." So, and they don't, and my videos don't get shared out, and people haven't been hitting the like button, and I can't force people to do that. So it's just one of those things where I gotta try and look for some kind of niche to jump into to get the views, get the watch hours, get the subscribers, and see if I can get monetized. So it's just one of those things. I'm just thinking about like shifting the focus of the channel to different, a little bit of a different direction, not a heavy different direction. Uh, I think I'll probably try to do videos, um, and see how that goes for a little while. Um, I've been learning a lot of how to do it properly, so this way here I don't get copyright claim, the copyright strike, and all that other yada yada yada. So yeah, that's where I'm thinking about heading is getting into the reaction. The passport bros reaction. Um, like just basically video reactions to videos that are out there. So this way here I can see if I can, gain some watch hours and gain some subscribers, and maybe then they'll look at my other videos like my comedy videos or my how-to videos, and that's basically what I'm looking at. I'm thinking about doing. So just that's main focus of this live stream to see how everybody's doing, number one, and see if everybody's on board with me, doing some little bit of comedy in the reaction world. So we got three people in the house. Give yourselves a shout out. Yeah, yeah. Like my options to see what works best for me. Because right, if I was on um a talent show, okay, if I had been on a talent show, I could kind of piggyback on success and basically promote my stuff through there. But for right now, me traveling all over the place while I'm to do the Canada's Got Talent kind of thing is yeah, I can't afford to do that. So it's one of those things where I gotta build up one thing, and you know maybe with a little bit of success on YouTube I could start really promoting my book really good, and then try to get build it a little bit better that way. And as soon as I got the money that I can retire and I don't have to worry about any income, Philippines, here I come. I'll be gone fast to blink your eyes. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just like I've seen some videos and some video that some people do on these music videos, and I'm like, yeah, it's about right. That's about but at the same time, I'm watching the video and I'm noticing things that they're not pointing out, and I'm like, hey, check this out. So, and I've been watching a lot of the Passport Bro stuff, and I've been seeing a lot of like a lot of these women are just so out there. And while I'm watching these, like the reaction to the Passport Bros moving to the East Asian countries, the way they're going off on these men, I just find that so funny because they haven't got a clue on what they're talking about. Making all these accusations like, oh, they're not intelligent, they're not educated, they don't even speak English. Like, lady, have to put the subtitles on to understand what you're saying. Don't tell me they don't know how to speak English because I can understand every word they're saying. I can't understand a word some of these North American women are saying because they're all using that hood speech. And it's like, listen, if you could actually speak enough English that your audience can understand properly, or new audience can understand properly, then your video might make sense. But if you're using all these hoodlum words and like doing all, oh yeah, he's all that, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, like give me a break. Like put that drama shit away and then just get to the meat of your stuff and away we go. Like, but yeah, that's kind of thinking about going into. I want to start out with Passport Bro stuff and then see how that works and see if I can boost my channel a little bit better that way. But yeah, the I don't even know who the other person is in the house. You gotta be active in the chat, if you want me to say hello to you. It's probably that numbnut Mike's Philippine journey, kind of just recording it in case I say something negative or derogatory, so he can put it up on his channel and oh my God, this guy's attacking me. Ooh. Got a butt that needs being kissed. As far as I'm concerned, that guy's nothing but a pathological liar because he's been caught lying so many times by so many different people. You need to make 2 or 3 reaction vids a day. Yeah, that'll be kind of tough. Like I'm thinking, 2 or 3 a week. Start out with that because I like I like to take my time editing, um, and make sure that that like as I'm editing, I'm trying new things. So this way, here I can elevate the look of my videos. So, and I want to try playing with the zoom in, zoom out kind of thing, and all that other stuff, and that takes a little bit of time to get used to. And so, I still am going to make my comedy videos when I mellow out a little bit. Like I want to be mellow and just kind of relax and think about and be able to do clearly, so that's why I hear it through them. So I'm still going to be doing that too, but it's going to be mostly switched over to the reaction stuff, kind of away. So everybody in the house, give yourselves a shout out and hit 949 to drop your link. So Odin's Men. I check out, or I've been a subscriber to Tribe. Um, Please Act Right. I love his channel. Um, Reality Check Files. Um, there's a bunch that I watch as far as the Passport Bros goes. And some of them, like they're showing them, they're showing these videos and they're doing reactions to them, and I'm like inside myself because I'm thinking of how I would react to them, but like they're just showing you like, oh, this is what they're saying, but this is reality is false. So don't know what they're talking about when they're making these reactions about men leaving you know the Asian countries to find a better partner. And well, they don't want a man who's combative. No, we don't. Well, they don't want a man who don't want a woman who's controlling. No, we don't. We want an equal partner. Well, what's so hard about that? We want somebody that we can come home to and basically be glad that we're home to them. If we have that, we ain't going anywhere. We ain't cheating on nobody. You want to keep your man from cheating on you? Make sure he's at peace when he's at home. And that don't mean, give him back rubs every day or anything like that. Don't cause any reason for him to want to pull his hair out or yours. Plain and simple. Treat your partner with the respect and dignity that you would expect your partner to treat you. Oh, I'll give that a check. I'll give that a check out. Odin's Men, like Thor and Loki and stuff like that. Yeah, but uh, yeah, I gotta look up on. I gotta make an account on TikTok and start viewing some of them videos and recording them, and then put in the disclaimer. Like this is due to copyright or fair use on copyright law. Blah 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 blah. Put that in my description, and wham, you know. So this way here, I can bump up the subscribers and the watch hours, and that's kind of where I want to go and kind of play around with it a little bit like that. But yeah, he's shooting the weather here on Friday. Oh boy, oh boy, it was nasty. We had snowflake, like we had snow coming down for about 3 hours, and then all of a sudden it changed from snow to sleet. Then it changed from sleet to freezing rain, and that was only like a couple hours of that. And then it was just rain, and then like literally at about 8:30 to 9 o'clock at night, we got thunder and lightning. Now, the earliest I've ever seen thunder and lightning during the calendar year here in Canada, where I'm at, is like late April. And I'm in my 50s. Okay, I'm 51 years old. I'll be 52 this year. I'll be a deck of cards. And this is like, the beginning of March. And we got thunder and lightning. I was like, wow. Like when I was outside having a cigarette, all of a sudden the sky lit right up. And I was like, oh boy, we're in for some stuff tonight. But uh, it was interesting. It was fun. I like watching weird weather. Yeah, my brother was over today, and we were watching this movie. Now, I have a program called Cody, and I watch streams. That's how I watch all my TV and stuff like that. And we were watching this movie. It was called Cocaine Bear. Oh my god! It was it was like watching a train wreck. You just can't look away. Like it was funny, but it was like freaking scary at the same time. But it was really funny. And like my brother said, you know, it's pretty bad when you're watching a movie and you're rooting for the bear. But oh my god, I just sat here, I was laughing like every time this bear went off. I was like, oh my god, this is just too funny. I can almost imagine what's going through his mind. Being high on cocaine. I can do that every now and then is watch a funny movie or watch a movie that I've seen before that's really funny. Um, just to, you know, chill out, relax, and kind of mellow out from the week and anything that's been troubling me or bothering me or whatever like that. So yeah, I like to watch comedy movies. I like to watch sci-fi movies. My book, I read it once in a while, mostly just to keep the story fresh in my mind, and because I'm in the middle of the sixth book, and I've got my I always write myself into a corner, and I try to write myself out, like how to write myself into a corner and try to figure out how would my character deal with this to get out of it. And I think that's kind of a fun way for me to write, and it makes the writing process fun. But yeah, my book is available on Amazon.com. Look up the keyword Max Pseudo, MAXXPSEUDO, and it'll come up usually the first thing on the list. Um, but the name of the series of books is The Chronicles of David Robinson. Not related to the basketball player. When I was writing it, I didn't even know that there was a basketball player named David Robinson because I don't follow basketball. To me, basketball is just a you know bunch of really tall people playing with balls on a gymnasium floor. To me, I think that's a really good job for a baby. That's what babies do. But you know, a lot of people like basketball. A lot of people like different kinds of sports. So they want to do that. Knock yourselves out. It's actually a Canadian invention, basketball. So should be proud of. I just I just never really got good at playing basketball in school, so I just didn't care about it when I grew up. So, sure, John. Yeah, and don't like. Um, every time you give somebody a like, YouTube sends that that stream or that piece of content out to seven more people who wouldn't have gotten it in the first place. So make sure you hit that like, folks. It really helps out the channel. It really helps out the creators of content, and makes us feel good too. Like I like your stuff. I'm glad you like it. And like is a fun word to say too. So it's like so we got give yourself a shout out. Hit the 949 to drop the link. But yeah, I want to want to try switching gears here to go into reaction videos and see how that works. Hopefully, I can build up my channel a little bit better and a little bit faster, and possibly get into the monetization program and start making a little bit of pennies. So, but whoever's out there, just give yourselves a shout out, and I'll say hello. Yeah, I'm gonna check out that Odin's, man. Like, I've been just watching the other reaction channels just to see how they're doing it and see know the process, like somewhat the process and what you can do or do that, just to make it look like I know what I'm doing, kind of thing. But I've been reading up and watching up on how to do it. And I think I've got a pretty good handle on what I can and cannot do. But yeah, got 5 people in the house. Nice, nice, nice. Hello to all the 5 million people out there. Roller coaster ride. Hey, how you doing from Liverpool? Nice to see you. Let me give you a little bit of a jacket here, and yeah, welcome to the channel. What's it like in Liverpool today? Well, it'd be like really dark, but yeah, I was telling John Lobley about this really strange weather we had on Friday. And it snowed for 3 hours, then it rained for or had sleet for about an hour, and then it was like freezing rain for about an hour, and then it rained for about 2 hours, and then all of a sudden we got thunder and lightning, and it's still winter. I was like, "Oh, this is not going to be a good day today," but eh, it's just what Mother Nature hands us. Birkenhead is in the house. Oh, who's Birkenhead? Birkenhead, give yourself a shout out up here. Yeah, roller coaster ride. If you want to drop your link, just type in 949, and my bot will drop your link so that you can connect and share with other people. So, yeah, if that's what you want to do, if you want to, try to help grow your channel and get your channel noticed, uh, cheers to the coffee for everybody. I love my coffee. My favorite drink, my drink of choice. I can drink coffee all day long, all night long. Birkenhead is my hometown too. Oh, okay. It's a town. Nice, nice. So you guys actually might know each other. Hey, weren't we neighbors? Yeah, I've never been outside of Canada or outside of North America. I've been to the United States. Um, I'd love to go to England to check out, the castles and, London Bridge Tower. Um, I'd love to check out Big Ben. I'd love to. Oh, there's a lot of places. Stonehenge. A lot of places I would just absolutely love to go visit in England. Like go see Wembley Stadium. You know, actually, I'd love to perform at Wembley Stadium, but that's a bit of a pipe dream. But yeah, I'd love to see, like the street the Beatles played on their last album. You know, just stuff like history and nostalgia. You know, rock and roll history and stuff like that. Like some of the bands that I grew up listening to, like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Sex Pistols, and so on and so forth. A lot of bands I've listened to come from the UK, come from Great Britain Island, and I'd like to go, be able to see, like, hey, oh wow, this is pretty cool. Go on a tour and see wherever everything was going on, and how the music scene was, and visit a few of the pubs. But yeah, right now it's not possible. Go to Anfield, home of Liverpool Footy Club, best stadium. Oh, nice. Stonehenge looks like a pile of rotten teeth. I've seen pictures of it, but you don't really grasp the awesomeness of something in a picture, in a photo. Like, oh yeah, it's Stonehenge. Is this a test? But to see it in person, like you actually feel the awesomeness of the structure. Like I'd love to go to Egypt and look at just to look at the pyramid of Giza, like the pyramids of Giza, and like the mountain lion, whatever it is, or the lion gate thing there. Stuff I'd like to go see because I'm into structures and stuff like that. Building structures, and I like seeing all that kind of stuff. Like I like to try and figure out how things are constructed. Like this one time, I went to an Autorama, and what an Autorama basically is back in the day, back in the early '80s, mid '80s, somewhere around. My dad, my brother, and my uncle, and a bunch of us, we'd all get together this car show called Autorama, and basically they had like all old cars. They had like shakers, and they had like old Corvettes and new Corvettes, and it was just like you know, basically pride in your vehicle put on display inside Joe Louis Arena or the Cobo Center. So the Cobo Center, and we'd go every year for a while, for a few years. And one year, um, that Funkies. I didn't like say, my name's this. I just saw them. They signed a picture for me, and it was cool. Adam West, got a picture signed from him. I wish I still had those pictures. But the most memorable thing that happened at the Autoramas is they had the Knight Rider car there. The one with the little eye that goes back and forth like this. I was sitting there staring at it, and I was about 17 years old, I think. I'm sitting there staring at it, watching it forth. All of a sudden, this elderly fellow comes behind me, and he's like, "So what do you think? I think I'd like to build one of those eyes for my Monte Carlo. So, but I'm trying to figure out how it's built or how I would build it." So he's like, "Well, just for conversation purposes," he's like, "How would you do it?" Yeah, kit car. Yeah, the kit car. Night Industries 2000. Um, so I started spelling out how I would build it up. He put his arm on me, put his arm around me, and says, "Kid, you got a hell of an imagination," because that's how I built that one. I was actually talking to George Barris. Didn't even know it. George Barris was built the Knight Rider, the General Lee, the Munster Mobile. He built all kinds of cars that were made for movies. um, and he built the Knight Rider car. And he's like, "What you just described, that's how I built that." And I was like, "Sweet." Now I just got to buy the parts and do it. So yeah, it was one of those things I always remembered when I was a kid growing up. being able to like I've always been able to figure things out like that, like how things are built, just by watching them and seeing what's going on. Guess that's how I was always why I've always been good at construction. Yeah, he did the wheel as well. Um, he told me that like we got talking about some of the cars that he did. He told me that the Batmobile was one of the hardest ones he did because he had to restructure the car for some of the effects. He had to do a lot of restructuring, and then the jet, the jet engine thing. Oh, that was a bit of a challenge, but yeah, but yeah, I've met a few celebrities day. I was 24 on my 24th birthday. I I met Ray Sawyer and who is Doctor Hook, um, and the medicine show. It's a rock blues band um, here in North America. They sing a lot of really great songs. Um, and I met them on my 24th birthday. Um, sat and had a beer with Metallica at a bar one time. That was fun. Um, it was it was fun when I was there, but now I look back at it, I was like really a bit of a stupid person because um, what we did was we all listened to the rock. It was this radio show, a radio program on the radio, and this one weekend they had this one night they had a um, dollar beer night, and Canadian money was at par. And I was like, great, I'm going. I got $500 in my pocket. I'm gone. So me and my buddies, we get ourselves a designated driver, and we brought enough money just in case we needed to get a motel room in case we couldn't drive home. Too tired to drive home, so we get over there, and we're partying and partying and partying and having a great time. And, and I was like, I got to go to the bathroom. So I asked the bartender where the bathroom is, and he points over, and I was, oh, okay. So on my way over there, I was, hey, you guys are Metallica, and Jay Hetfield was like, you're right. I was like, you guys got to be here for a little while. Go in the bathroom, come back, and have a beer with you guys. Yeah, sure. So that's what I did. I clean my hands. Just as I'm sitting down, the waitress is coming by to take another order, and I put a $20 bill up on her tray. And I was like, "Give us three each." So there's five of us. It cost, $15, and I just keep the change. So we're sitting there having a few beers together, and laughing and carrying on, and just joking around, not talking about, oh my God, I am so impressed that I'm sitting here, and I'm a really big fan. No, I was just joking around with the guys. I treated them like we'd been friends for decades and whatever. So I go back to my buddies, and we're sitting there, drinking, and then we get to the point where we're at the end of the night, and then we're trying to cross the border. Like the bar closes, and we leave, and we're on our way home. Trying to get across the border, and the border guard's like, "So, do you guys have anything to declare?" I went, "Oh, just a second." I opened up the car door, and I threw up right there on the border. Closed the door. I went, "Not anymore." I could have got arrested that night, but the guy just laughed. He says, "Get that guy out of here." So yeah, I've had some fun. Said some things said some things to some people and authority figures that you should not say, and I've gotten away with a lot of them. Probably because no StreamYard, uh, Chrome, and all that other stuff. You know, the power requirements from StreamYard and Chrome and YouTube and all is so much more. They're shoving all the older computers out, like the Windows 10 computers that just started, that you got just as Windows 10 was starting. You're shoving them all out to the wayside, and basically forcing everybody to buy new computers. And it's like I can't, the world can't afford to buy a computer every year. These companies need to realize this. It's going to get to the point where like yearly subscriptions of these companies are just going to be, they're just going to say, okay, I'm not paying the yearly subscription anymore because I can't. My computer that I used to be able to run properly on that won't run properly anymore. So I can't use that service. So I'm not going to pay for that service anymore. So, just I wish these companies would, take stock and realize that, there's a financial problem going on in the world because of what's been going on. The pandemic created a great deal of the financial problem in the world. Like the price of food has gone so stupidly high, it isn't funny. And the only ones getting any relief out of it are the millionaires. So go figure out how that's fair. The people who can afford the rises in prices. Yeah, keep the chat going here, guys. Like we'll keep this going until I run out of things I can say, and then that's gonna be shut down, and we're like, oh shit, I should have said something. uh, yeah, I'm trying to get a fella that I bumped into on another website or another channel. I'm trying to get him on the channel um, to do an interview. His name is Yellow Shirt Dad, and I really would love to do an interview with this guy because he's a joker. He tells a lot of jokes, and it would be fun interview, and basically the two of us, you know, trading back and forth, joke here, joke here, joke there, and just to get everybody, laughing and having a good time and stuff like that. But so far, I've been unable to get a hold of him. I keep telling him, I say, hey, you got to get a hold of me through Instagram because how I give out the link to StreamYard. I won't put it in the public chat because you know, even though my subscribers, my good subscribers, if they don't have a computer or a way to you know be on the panel and be productive on the panel, be a productive member on the panel, they're not going to click the link and waste my computer resources to have them sitting in the waiting room. And then there's those other people like you know he who should not be named, he who should not be alive really, but he who should not be named would jump on a panel and say, hey, I'm in your backstage, you better bring me up. Hey, hey, Wang. Hey, how you doing? Just hit 949 to drop your link if you want to drop your link. Wang, did you want to come up on the panel? Doing stand up live uh, is tough. It really is because um, when I did stand up on stage, um, they told me, "Oh, don't worry, the lights are so bright you can't see anybody." Bullshit. I saw everybody, but you can see where everybody's looking in the front row. Okay, because the lights are down there on them as well. In the middle row, you can see, like where their heads are going and how, see them laughing and whatever like that. In the back row, it's more shadowy, but you can see where everybody's at, like, in a small club. Um, uh, in a big arena, yeah, you're not going to be able to see everybody until they turn the lights on. But in a smaller club setting, yeah, you're going to see everybody. Like, and for some people, they get stage fright because they're they don't know the people. Okay, so what a lot of people say is, oh, just imagine everybody naked. No, don't do that, because the people down in the front row are gonna, some of them you don't want to see naked. Like, trust me on this. I've seen some people in this world that you don't want to see naked. No way. My suggestion, if you're new at doing stand up comedy, or new at doing music or whatever, the people that you can see, okay, the people that you can see, imagine your friends' faces on their faces. Okay, all your friends, imagine them being in the front row, because those are the people you're most comfortable with, and those are the people that you can let your guard down with. Those are the people you can be yourself with. Hey, no problem. No problem. Hey, I like helping people out, and it makes me feel good. Makes me feel like a productive member of society when I've done something to help somebody else out, um, in any way that I can. Um, Whether it be, like steering you into a video that will help you with working, or giving you information on whatever, or fixing something physically for you, or whatever like that. If I'm able to do something to help somebody out, it makes me feel good too. So, but yeah, just like, if you're going to be doing live performing of any kind, the best thing to do is don't imagine every naked, because some people you just don't want to see naked. But for the most part, imagine them as your best friends, because you're going to be able to be yourself in front of your best friends. So I kind of went with that attitude and that philosophy when I went on stage at Yuck Yucks. And there was, the first night I went on stage, there was 245 people in the audience. I knew 45 of them before I walked up on that stage. And the manager was like, "Oh man, you brought a lot of people here." I said, "Hey, I know how to fill a place. I know how to get people, get my friends to, support me a little bit." But when it comes to the YouTube thing, there, most of my friends have either lived through the videos that I've been doing, or I've told them, you know, those stories so many times it's not funny to them anymore. So, but yeah, I just um, like, because all the stories that are on my channel, all those videos I made for stand up, they're all real. They all really happened. And when I jumped off that cliff, yeah, I got a high speed animate. I first I said, I was creating a wake. So yeah, I lean up against that tree and caca everywhere, But yeah, I'm been playing on stage, so a comedy gig would be less stressful. No, actually, it's more stressful. Comedy is a lot more stressful in the manner that when you're singing and playing an instrument, Okay. Um, you have a set of words that you're going to be performing, and you practice and practice and practice and practice. Everybody knows what those words are if they know the song. Everybody knows what the chords are, what it's supposed to sound like. So all you got to do is be close and make sure you're singing along with the rhythm. And that's about the most stress you're going to have. Stand up comedy, on the other hand, is the audience doesn't have a clue what for. They have no idea what you're going to say next. So you don't know if they're going to how they're going to react. Like singing and playing. Say you're singing and playing ROCK in the USA by John Cougar Mellencamp in a 80s style bar. The people that are in that bar, if they're roughly my age, they're gonna sit there and rock on. They're gonna bebop. And they're gonna cheer for you and stuff like that. Produce content or a performance. For them know what your content is going to be before you start your story. They're going to be quiet until they start hearing punchline. You're set up to the punchlines, and then all of a sudden they're gonna start a little bit of a roll, and then a little bit of a roll, and then a little bit of a roll, and then when you hit that punchline, then it's gonna be oh yeah, But comedy, you get that you have to get them sharp punchlines and sharp lines to you know steer people in the right direction of where you're taking them on their journey in their mind. So that's why when you see shows like Americans Got Talent, Britain's Got Talent, Canada's Got Talent, those talent shows, they always say doing stand-up comedy is the most stressful thing because the audience doesn't know what your story is. They don't know what your material is. They don't know what your performance is. So their is going to be surprised. Their first reaction is going to be surprised that you said what you just said. Then they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, that was me," But their first reaction is always going to be surprised. When you go up and you sing, say "I'll Be There" by the Jackson Five, the people who hear the beginning of that song, they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, I love this song." And they're going to cheer you up or cheer you on right from the get go. Stand up comedy, they do that. There's You have to keep them cheering from the last joke into the next one, and then steer their mind into a spot. It's my favorite stand up currently right now is Gabriel Iglesias. Um, Wonderful guy, wonderful comedian. I'd love to meet the guy. He's got really great content. He's really funny. He knows how to steer the audience where he wants them to go. Um, and like that's why it takes so long between some of my videos because I have the core of the material done. I have the core of the material set up and how I want it to progress. It's just a matter of fine tuning the vocals to you know to amplify the direction the I'm trying to take the audience. So like how I want to do I want to amplify this or do I want to lower this or do I want to stretch this word like when I did my cliff jumping video. The bonsai, when I say, I told you it was ways up there, that was one of my things to, basically keep you on the idea that we're still falling, we're still falling, we're still falling. And it's like, yeah, this is a long ways up there. We're still falling. Yeah, the challenge of being spontaneous is it's it's exciting, it's exhilarating. Your adrenaline is just going to be pumping like freaking like a Ferrari engine roaring, and You're better off not being drunk doing it. I'll tell you that much right now. You're better off not being drunk doing it. Because if you're drunk when you go up on the stage for your very first time, the chances are you're going to throw up all over the stage because your insides are going to just be going like you're going to have butterflies until you start getting those laughs. Once you start getting those laughs, then it starts calming down. But then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Like when I got off the stage at Yuck Yucks, the very first time I went on stage, I got off stage. I had everybody roaring. One lady pissed herself in the audience. Like I was in the middle of one of my routines, and I was like, "Yeah, somebody pissed themselves." Like, yeah, you could smell it on stage. Somebody wet themselves. And I go. They give me the signal, and I go off to the set after I close my stuff down, and the MC comes up and say, hey, that was his first time on stage, blah 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 blah. He did great, and then he introduced the next act right away. He didn't have to get the crowd rolling again. He just kept the show moving. So we basically get back into the hallway around the same time, and the manager, he's um, like when you do that, your adrenaline's rocking like crazy. You just can't shut being funny off. Trust me on this. I can't. I just can't just go, oh, I'm going to be serious now. No, it doesn't work like that. So I get out there and that was great. That was great. That was your first time up there. Are you sure it was your first time up there? I was like, well, I would know. And he starts laughing. He's like, oh, you ought to go up. You got to go down to the States and do some shows down there. Like it was a border city, like Windsor, Ontario to Detroit. And I was like, oh, hell no. He's like, why not? And I said, because I don't want to be starting my show with, don't shoot, I'm Canadian. Well, he's laughing. He goes, yeah, you ought to do that. So I don't want to give him any ideas either. And then next thing you know, he's like going back into his office. Like he's just laughing so hard. He goes back into his office and just to shut up for a little while. So me and the MC and I, we're sitting there in the little foyer, and we're just cracking jokes back and forth, making each other laugh. All of a sudden, and you could hear crickets in the freaking like the room where you're on stage was quiet. Nobody was laughing at all. This young girl, about 21 years old, about 5 foot, maybe 5'1", blonde hair, blue eyes, absolutely gorgeous, walks right up to me, looks me square in the face. Now remember, I just gotten my adrenaline levels at 9,000 out of 10, and I can't take that adrenaline and just shut it off and be serious. She comes up to me, looks me square in the face, and says, so, Mr. Funny Pants, what's your sign? And without even blinking an eye, I just looked down at this girl and I said, slow down and playing, like that. And she gives me this look, and the MC falls over. He's dying. He's laughing so hard. She takes off to go to the bathroom where she was intending to go to the first place. And as I'm picking up the MC, I'm like, damn, I really messed that up, didn't I? He goes, oh, yeah. So they call that that amateur comedian that was on stage off the stage, and the MC goes up. And in order to get the crowd back rolling again, he tells what happened in the hallway. He doesn't say when it happened, who it was with, or nothing like that. He just said he watched the incident unfold. And the crowd just went bananas all over again. And he comes up and he goes, hey, thanks for that little bit up. I was like, I didn't give it to you, like, but I'm glad it got the crowd rolling again. But after that, all like the other three amateur comedians had been doing the sets they're doing for like a couple. They all bombed. Like you could hear freaking pins dropping in the other room. And when I was up there, everybody was pissing themselves laughing. Yeah, I like Stephen Wright too. Stephen Wright is a really good comedian. One of my favorite lines of his is, "Oh no, my foot fell asleep. That just means it's going to be awake all night long." That dog for a walk. We went from uh, we went from Sacramento, California, to New York and back. The next morning, he had his leash in his mouth. He was wagging his tail at the door, and I looked at him and I said, "No, you're done." Oh yeah, but that's the way he presented his comedy right from the get go. He was like really calm, laid back, just dry, let it out, just spit that out and let the dust hang out on the floor. But yeah, that was Stephen Reich's way of doing things. Another comedian I miss having around who's not with us anymore is Mitch Hedberg. He was a really funny guy. Give me a second. I gotta blow my nose. Hate that when you got a creature coming, rolling its way down. But yeah, I've always loved Bill Engvall. I've always loved Jeff Foxworthy, Larry the Cable Guy, Ron White, um, Howie Mandel. I would love to meet Howie Mandel and just sit back and have a couple cups of coffee with the guy. Um, uh, who else? There's a like to be able to just sit around a table and just joke around, and have a good time. Just tell one story another after another after another. Bill Connolly, Billy Connolly. Oh, another comedian that I really love is Jimmy Carr. That guy is off the chain. The first time I heard that guy there, I literally had to go to the bathroom 3 times in his 1 hour set. I had to pause the video, run to the bathroom because I was laughing so hard that I couldn't believe that he just got done saying what he got done saying. Like one of my favorite things that Jimmy Carr said was one of my favorite things about natural disasters, and it's probably a bad thing that I got a list, is that after a natural disaster, they have a like a unity thing for prayer. Like, and he goes, "How does that go? You know, you know, dear God, what's that all about? You know." But yeah, it's one of my one of my favorite things about Jimmy Carr. He says the things that nobody else will, and that's my favorite thing about comedy is you steer people in a direction, and then you just shift gears. You just bang, you're gone. You bring them all the way over, then you go wham over here, and then you're like, hey, wait. So the audience has to sit there and be on pins and needles while you're talking, and that's when you know you got them right in the palm of your hand. But I just, that's what I like about comedy is, you know, you could be, brought up to about this high, and then all of a sudden the bottom of that story just gets dropped out of you, dropped out from underneath you. And then they build you back up, and then they drop the bottom out on you again. It's like, going on a ride at Disneyland. But yeah, it's like I said, like the title says, I'm considered for those people that just joined in, considering gears on my channel to reaction videos. Such a boring Cohen is totally out there. So funny. Yeah, I haven't really seen a whole lot or heard a whole lot from Sacha Baron Cohen. I need another coffee. I'll be right back on camera, but I'll be here with the mic anyways because the cord can stretch over to my hole in the wall in my kitchen. Uh, yeah, one form of channel that I will not be switching gears to is singing channel. Uh, Dwarf on a bus, okay. Because I don't sing. I I was told as a kid that like going to school, we had music class and it was patient class. My teachers would give me extra marks if I didn't participate. So my singing's that bad. And about 25 years ago, I got my buddies. They're always like, "Oh, he's a fun guy. The way he reacts to things. Like, let's karaoke bar." So then we go to this karaoke bar. And they started feeding me that I believe I can sing. So after about two pictures of this, I find myself up at the DJ booth going, "I think I can sing." And my song comes up, and it was Kenny Rogers, "The Gambler." Now, if anybody doesn't know the way that song goes, the beginning of it starts off on a warm summer's eve on a train bound from nowhere. I met up with a girl. We were both too tired to speak or to sleep. Well, I made it to on a train bound from nowhere, and the popcorn starts get thrown at my head. By the time I got to the point where uh, they were both too tired to sleep, the popcorn off the table. Throw all thrown at me. And the owner, bless his heart, he comes up and he rips that microphone out of my hand, and he starts yelling at me to the point where, you know, and his English wasn't all that great, and he was Chinese, he was fresh off the boat, so his English isn't all that great. So he starts yelling at me. He's like, "You're a singer so berry, you crip press out, you make everybody read." So I'm in the back of my mind, I'm imagining having a conversation with Elmer Fudd, and it's making me laugh inside. I'm trying not to laugh outside and make things worse. But we end up getting kicked out of there. And go, "You'll come back in, moi." So we go a few doors down, and there's a comedy club, and we're getting ready to spool up for the second show. So I was like, "Hey, let's go in here. Let's have some fun in here." So we go in there, and I pay my ticket, and I go to the bathroom, and I'm standing there at the urinal, and this guy pulls beside me. He's doing his thing at the other urinal, and I'm still laughing about what was going on, what went on, the, um, back at the other bar. And this guy says to me, he's like, "What are you laughing at?" I was like, "Well," so I told him. Turns out that guy was the MC for the night and tried to open his show with. I told him in the bathroom, and I'm sitting in the middle of the room, and I'm going, "Hey, you read my material wrong." I got yelled at again. Oh, there's another comedian that I really like. I've always loved this guy ever since I saw his material. Is John Panette. If you ever get a chance to go, sadly the guy's not with us anymore. But if you ever get a chance to watch John Panett's I'm Still Hungry, check that out. You will, I swear you'll laugh your butt off. You'll laugh a brand new crack in your butt. That's how funny this guy is. Like he also did this other one, this other routine called Around the World Native Buffets. He did another one. Um, what the heck was the name of it? He's got a bunch of comedy specials out. Oh, he's funny. Oh, I say nay nay. I just say nay nay. Can't say no anymore. I say nay. So guitarist falls off chair. Okay. Well, uh, anybody else in the house? Give yourself a shout out. Thank 5 of the people that are in here that I can, that I can see on the eyeball there in StreamYard. I'd like to thank everybody for being here. I hope you all hit the thumbs up. Give me that thumbs up. Even though it looks like I'm doing it, but it's like right about here somewhere. And that sends out, for anybody who doesn't know, that sends out, YouTube sends out 7 recommendations to people that would not normally get the content from that creator. It gives 7 recommendations out for every one of those likes you give people. So yeah, give me that thumbs up, and you can get some more different people in here. We really get some conversation going. Um, but yeah, it looks like chat's calmed down a little bit. So, but yeah, being on stage at Yuck Yucks with the 245 people, that was a whole lot easier. Like the place was packed. Like we were at maximum capacity. And about a few months later, uh, I went to this other bar, and they said, "Well, have you ever done stand up before us?" Yeah, I was down at Yuck Yucks, and there was like 245 people in the audience. And the manager said I did. So he called the manager at Yuck Yucks. He said, "Oh yeah, get that guy on your stage." So he hooks me up with a date, and I told a bunch of people, and they couldn't make it because it was a Thursday night, and it was like you had to work. So there was a lot of people that didn't make it. There ended up being 5 people in the audience, and I bought 3 of them. And I bring the most amount of people that's in your audience, and I brought them all in one vehicle. That speaks wonders for the bar, how they promote their, their stuff. And when I got on that stage, it was tough because the 3 people I brought sat over here, and the other 2 people sat over here, and they wouldn't sit anywhere close to each other. Like they would have sat at the same table. You can a little bit, but they it's hard to do that when you're only entertaining 2 tables. And it was just it was a tough show. I think my first joke was, well, it looks like everybody else decided to come dressed as chairs, and I got the crowd going a little bit. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna shut the live stream down. It's been a little over an hour. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up, and uh, like, share, and subscribe. And I hope everybody has peace, love, and happiness this week. And I hope I cheered you up, cheered people a little bit, got everybody to laugh, just or gave you some good information about being a stand-up comedy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna shut this. We'll do another one next week. Same time. Same, as Batman would say, same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah, it would be this channel next week, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll see y'all next one, folks. Love and happiness, everybody.